So my question started forming when that beautiful woman was up yesterday talking about how much she loved people, how much she could just see people and want to hug them and kiss them and love them up. And I don't feel that. I feel very, just kind of distant from people. But I recognize that. I recognize her in me. I recognize that that's how I'm supposed to feel or how I want to feel. And so my question started forming specifically with my work and with employees. And I've struggled a lot with loving them and recognizing the best in them and recognizing the best in their abilities. And I have an opportunity now. I'm getting promoted, and I need to find I need to find my replacement, basically. And I really want to do a good job finding this person. I want to see them, and I want to see their ability, and I want it to be fun, and I want it to be creative and effortless, and all those wonderful feelings you get when you're co-creating with somebody in a professional environment, and you're just coming up with ideas and improvements. And but I'm scared. I've got this old vibration going about I've not done this well in the past. I've gone through a lot of people.
Well, let's talk about this. And it's nice, the juxtaposition that you have set this up in, because everyone remembers the conversation from yesterday. So let's start there just a little bit. And at the basis of this conversation is the all-important premise of unconditional living, unconditional alignment, unconditional love, unconditional alignment, unconditional clarity, which means I've practiced it from the inside out. In other words, most people are trying to get there, and they can't, from the outside in. In other words, the conditional way to feel all of the things that you're wanting to feel is look around for all of the positive evidence around you. But the problem with that is when you're looking around for the positive conditions, you're training yourself to be conditional. So the positive conditions are available to you, and so are the not so positive conditions available to you, because you're looking in that way. It's Jerry Nestor's publisher encouraged them not to read the reviews, but it was enticing because there were so many wonderful reviews of people talking about the life-changing experiences that they'd had, and every now and again there'd just be an awful review that would make them question their existence at all. And so he said to them, don't read them. And so in the same way, we are not saying that once you get your momentum going that you will not be attracted to all kinds of awareness of all kinds of wonderful conditions. But we're saying you're wanting to do it from the inside out, not from the outside in. So conditional living is sort of outside in. I like that and that and that and that and that and that and that, and that makes me feel good. Unconditional living is finding that basis of well-being that is so soft and subtle and easy to find, and then just holding it until law of attraction. You hold a thought for as little as 17 seconds, another thought like it will join it, and then it becomes more. Another 17 seconds, another thought like it joins it. So until you cross the 68-second mark, once you cross that 68-second mark, you've got significant enough momentum going that ideas and emotions are now already flowing. After 68 seconds of non-diluted, non-resisted thought about something. So as we introduce into this conversation this subject of unconditional alignment, what we want to say to you is, without you meaning for it to happen, others have trained you into some expectations. And our friend from yesterday had to do a very significant thing in order for the momentum to be able to happen for her relative to this feeling of unconditional love that she found. She had to care more about how she felt than about how they felt. And that's a little tricky when you're in a work environment or when you're in a management environment or where you're in an environment where you have responsibility for others and you're being watched for your, in other words, because this is the thing that happens with so many of you. You feel their eyes on you. You feel their eyes on you, and therefore so much. We're speaking about nearly 100% of the population once you get past the age of 8 or 9. As the eyes on you begins to dominate the way you behave. And so when you were describing, and when she was describing, it was interesting that she is just loving easily, and often now that feeling of alignment is sort of overtaking her with inspiration, so that she is behaving in overt and obvious ways with people who may not be quite ready for all of that alignment. In other words, you just can't run around in the world and be kissing on everybody. But if you're really in sync, your impulse will come to those who are at least in the vicinity. Sort of like our finding of you here in the audience. If you're in the vicinity, you're easy to find. What we want you to hear from us, and we really, really want you to feel what we are conveying to you here. Everything's just fine, and nothing is far out of alignment. And if you had not presented this specific question to us in the way that you did, you could proceed in your life experience working under those conditions, being relatively happy ever after. But there's a tension about you that is unnecessary. And it is all about the misunderstanding that it is your responsibility that if you don't hold it together, it doesn't stay held together. And we think it is brilliant that you came here wanting to talk about this person who is just bubbling over with alignment, who is powerfully effective in everything that she is doing, but doing it on a path that is much less resistant in nature. So, having made that comparison yourself, and having identified what it is, in other words, of all the things that we've talked about in all of the hours that we've been together, for that to be the thing that stood out to you, that's such an important thing, because what that is saying is you are understanding the importance of that alignment and understanding the inspiration that then will come after that, you see. So it's an easy fix, and it goes like this. Just do your best to get off on the right foot in that day, and say things to yourself like, I'm not going to make big hairy deals out of things. I'm going to go easy. I'm going to watch for evidence of their abilities. In other words, try to see them without you and feel how well trained and advised they have been, and feel pride for the part that you play in that. And say things to yourself such as, I'm going to practice my positive expectation of them, and then practice your positive expectation of them. And say to yourself, by the time I leave, how much time do you have before you actually make this transition?
We're looking at resumes right now, so it's imminent.
A month? A week?
As soon as I find them, yeah, it could be.
I have plenty of time to get myself into a vibration of expectation. And these are the things that I expect. So this is what we want you to focus on. Mm-hmm. I expect, you say the word, I expect.
I expect.
Now tell us what you expect, and we'll guide it softly. I expect. Now we're not talking about the person that you're hiring.
Oh.
And we're not talking about where you're going. We're talking about that team that you have been guiding, that you will find a replacement. But let's just pretend for a little while that the replacement is you from a different vantage point. That the replacement is a vibrational version of you, not another physical body that's going to... And so this vibrational version of you is going to expect this into alignment. So I expect from this team, I expect
that they have everything they need to find the answers.
All right. I expect that they are the right people in the right place at the right time. You feel how... Now, that was really general, but if we'd gotten much more specific, you would have contradicted it with reality. Mm-hmm. I believe, now, if that contradicted it for you, then soften it. I believe that these people have the potential of being the right people at the right place at the right time. That softened it a little further still. I know that this is going to work out really well. I believe that this is one of the best decisions that I've ever made. I believe that a sort of soothing of well-being is coming over all of this. I can feel the power of my intentions. I'm going to long experience the effect of what I've taught them. I'm going to be like a proud parent experiencing the benefit of what I know they know. I'm going to lead them, maybe one removed, from my powerful place of positive expectation. I now understand that the training that now matters is the training of my expectation of them, not the training of their behavior. That's big. That's really big. The training. Everything's been taken care of. Everything else is in place. It's because you've been saying things like, they'll be inspired, they'll know what to do. In other words, this is an ongoing thing. This isn't something that's static where you've taught this many things and there's this many things for them to do and they're like robots standing in place doing these things. These have to be fluid, flexible, intuitive, tuned in people, you see. And so that's what you're practicing yourself to see them as. And we want to say to you that this is the best opportunity for this to happen for all of them, because your new vantage point is going to remove you a step from the details that have been thwarting you. You see what we're getting at?
Yes.
And so if you can resist the urge, which is an impulse coming from a practice vibration, you're going to stop practicing. If you can resist the urge or replace that urge with another urge so that you don't find yourself doing with your replacement what you sort of were doing with those other. So sort of put your replacement and all of them in the same category of, I know that they are all in the right place at the right time, and I can feel that they will work together, and I will be inspired to put the perfect person in that spot. And this is going to flow like it's never flowed before. And all of us are going to feel more creative freedom than we've ever felt before. And there's going to be ideas that flow from them that will excite all of us. And we're a team where we're sharing the ball. In other words, isn't that nice when you see a basketball team or any team? Esther is in love with the Spurs because they are in San Antonio where she lives. And they are that kind of team. They share the ball. They don't care who puts it in as long as someone puts it in. And so they give it to the one who is most likely to get the ball in the basket. And the statistics at the end of the game are less important to every one of them than the final score of the game. And so it's the same sort of thing. This is a team experience where I want to feel happy. And I want my replacement to feel happy. And I want the people that they are supervising to feel happy. This is a happy place that we work. This is a happy, innovative place. This is a place where a lot of creative juices flow. And there is nothing more exhilarating about life than creative juices to flow. That's the whole thing about this. Work is a means to receive income. And it is a way that we spend a great deal of our time. But it's also the opportunity to creatively co-create with others. And in the right atmosphere, it is the most delicious aspect of life experience. Yeah. Really good.
I got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.